Today, we're talking about the 5 things you need to know when it comes to dating in 2018. What's up, all you good fellow fly guys? You know who it is, the Cat in the Hat, your resident fly guy, your chief architect, Michelangelo of StyleArchitects.com, here to help you redesign your frame of mind when it comes to this lifestyling thing. And in 2018, a lot of issues changed. But as the old adage goes, the more things change, the more things stay the same. And that is also true when it comes to dating in the new year. Now, there are 5 things that I want you to think about, but at the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of how you need to really start reframing your mind when it comes to dating, and you will have a better position on how you approach young ladies in different types of scenarios, and lastly, how to fully communicate the very best of who you are when it comes to not only your style, but your socializing. So, who am I to really talk to you about this whole dating thing? Well, I have been in the menswear industry for the last 12 years. If you watched any of my videos, you know that. But for the last 7 years, I've actually been studying intimacy and actually have my certification in sex coaching. So before we can even get to the sex, we have to start out with the date. Can't put that chicken before the egg. So we're going to have that conversation today. So if you find the information beneficial, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love to be a character in your style story. If you have already subscribed, then you know I appreciate you. And now all you have is one more thing left to do, and that is hit that notification bell, and that way you will be notified each and every time new content comes out. So the first thing that you want to think about when it comes to dating in 2018 is, what do you really want? Now, again, if you're over the age of 25, you should be moving out of the space of, yo, let me just have sex as much as possible with as many random young ladies as I can. The reason being is because I always tell dudes that they need to value their piece. They need to value their member, because in modern days, you getting a young lady pregnant or you catching an STD is no laughing matter. There's nothing light work about that, and it can cost you a whole lot of headaches and a whole lot of trips to the doctor on both sides in order to have those situations rectified. So because of that, I would tell guys to be strategic about what they really want in 2018. If you are going to be out here, you know, like a wild man having sex with everything moving, please make sure that you protect yourself and start thinking about the type of qualitative women that you want. The second thing that I would tell you that you need to know when it comes to 2018 is to pay to play. Now, before you think that I'm talking about paying, you know, a lady of the night, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about paying to play on a dating site. So if you're going to date online, I would tell you to invest a little bit of money in eHarmony, Match, or any one of these other non-endorsed dating sites, because when you're on OkCupid, Tinder, or Plenty of Fish, I've been on all 3 of those, the qualitative aspect of what you're getting, not the women, but what you're getting access to, is going to be very, very limited. This is where all the catfishing happens. This is where, you know, you may run into some ladies with some emotional issues. And so even if you meet a qualitative type of young lady, what's happened often for me is that women immediately meet me with their guard all the way up. Like, who are you? You know, what issues do you have? And I've had young ladies ask me this, or at the end of the first date be like, yo, man, you really cool. Like, you were so not what I was expecting. And when I asked them why, they talked to me about all these horror stories from Tinder, Plenty of Fish, or OkCupid. Now, I've been blessed to have like some really cool friends, some really cool references that I can use later on when it comes to this dating space. And so I made some really great friendships, but even those friends have not really had success meeting guys on those apps. They've actually met guys out and about or on social media. So that's going to be the third thing that I would give you some insight into when it comes to dating in 2018. Know who you are on social media. Like, fellas, if you only have 1,000 followers and you're not that attractive, and again, there's other beneficial factors for you if you're not, you know, Tyson Beckford, or as one dating coach said, if you don't walk into a room and girls be like, damn, then you may not be that top tier of the dude. That doesn't mean that you're not attractive. That just may mean, you know, don't expect a modeling contract. You're not the dude who got the modeling contract after, you know, presenting his mugshot. So with that being said, if you've liked 1,000 of this young lady's pictures who's just doing this, you know, always up in her phone just like that, and has nothing else that she brings to the table, and she like 2 of yours, check out that ratio, 2 to 1,000. It's not a good one. So if you slide into her DM, know that she's probably not going to be checking for you. Even if she thought that you may have been interesting, she has 400 other messages that she got. She has to deal with dick pics. She got to deal with the press or booking inquiries for her being an Instagram model, club invites, all these other different types of things that she would have to sift through in order to get to your message. And she doesn't know you from Adam. So if you're going to do that, if you're going to move through DM, I would tell you to think just like a lot of social media managers or experts will tell you, and find somebody at your same ratio. And that doesn't mean that you can't find a beautiful young lady with only 100 or 500 followers, because they're definitely out there. The fourth thing that I would tell you to pay attention to when it comes to dating in 2018 is the filter. Filter your interests, filter what you're looking for, and also filter your thoughts. So first thing, when it comes to filtering what you're interested in, if you're not the extravagant, extroverted type of guy, and you're looking at the chick or following the chick who's always out at the parties and doing all those different types of things, fam, I just got to keep it real. She's probably not the girl for you, because how you met her is how she's going to be. So you can't expect her to become Susie Homemaker and you met her on, Instagram or out at a party, and she was partying that whole week every time that you guys talked. Don't try to change her. If somebody shows you who they are, believe them. But also filter how they're moving. Here's what happens for a lot of guys. They see these young ladies traveling and out here living their best life, and they think, man, I can't get with that chick. She's doing too much. I'd have to break the bank just to kick it with her. But you're not paying attention to how often she travels. I have friends who travel every 6 weeks or every 4 to 6 weeks because they save up all their money during the month and then they go out and travel. And many of these young ladies have told me numerous times, yo, I would love to go on a trip with a dude, but dudes don't like to travel. And I'm like, false. We love to travel. And it doesn't cost you a whole lot of money. These young ladies are happy to stay in a moderately priced hotel or do an all-inclusive, and they're willing to go half with you on it. So don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. So the last tip that I will give you in 2018 when you're dating is to be more curious and to be more clever. And that means simply, when you're on somebody's social media or you're interacting with a young lady, be more curious about her. That will suppress your thoughts and all the things that you feel like you need to impress her with, and it will actually give you more insight into who she is. Think about it like this. The average young lady now is giving out her social media handle more than she's giving out her number. She's actually giving you more access to her if you're following her on the gram. If you're following her on the gram, she's going to show you what she likes, like we just talked about, who her interests are, who she hangs with, how she likes to move, all those different types of things. And you've gotten all this ammunition that you can use when you take her out on a date. So just consider that when you are doing those things. And when you are out on a date, be more curious, because this will foster communication. This will foster you learning more things about her that you can use to create a pleasurable experience on an ongoing basis. Now, the second thing of that is be clever. So instead of sending this young lady a text, send her a voice memo. Yo, I was just letting you know that I was thinking about you and I hope that you're having a beautiful day. For all the texts that she has that are the "what you doing?" "Oh man, really? Wow, that's dope. What you doing later?" Like, that's whack. Instead of asking, like, "What are you doing?" Ask her something that's going to spark a conversation. "Yo, did you see that new trailer for the new movie that's coming out?" "Oh, no, I haven't." Then that automatically can start a conversation that will lead to a date, right? So start being more clever and more curious when you're in those spaces. So that's it. Yo, those are the 5 things that you need to think about when it comes to dating in 2018. And this is something that you guys can still utilize even if you're in a committed relationship. Listen, I know that you already had the hard part done. You don't have to worry about Tinder and OkCupid, or paying to play in those different types of spaces. And you also don't have to worry about sliding into her DMs. But wouldn't it be a little fun to do so anyway, to send her a random text to her DM like you're a new admirer? Chicks love that stuff anyway, and I'm sure your lady will as well. And it could definitely be beneficial for you to be more curious about that young lady. that you're dating, because there's always room to grow when it comes to interacting with her. So, question of the day: what are 2 tips that you would give guys when it comes to dating in 2018? And listen, if you're married, that's fine too. You may have some game that we haven't thought about. So go ahead and share that in the comment box. If you found this information beneficial, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. It's going to help the channel to grow. Please make sure that you share this with a friend to make sure that these dudes aren't doing anything lame in 2018. It would be a terrible situation for a dude to show up looking fly and end up being corny. That's not what we want. So make sure that they get that out there. So before I get out of here, you know that you should always make sure that you are showing up in style and never forgetting to live, to love, and to create. I'll see you next time. Peace.